Hey, good morning, guys. Been doing some research all night about balancing these big wheels and tires. And a lot of people use Dyna beads or airsoft BBs. But the one post that I came across that might actually work for our CTIS systems is antifreeze. The reason I'm trying this is because this is a check valve. This is how the truck CTIS system gets rid of air. So if you think about it, 20 ounces of antifreeze down at the bottom of the tire here, or spinning around the outside, will never actually make it to the innermost part of the tire here where the air comes in. There is a bead lock rubber in here that's got a slit, about a 1/4 inch slit in it at one point, and that's how the air gets into the tire. So the chances of the antifreeze getting back into the system is very, very rare. So I'm going to give it a test run. One guy was saying that he put 1/2 gallon in here. I'm going to start small and then work my way up. So I'm starting with 20 ounces and we'll see where it goes from there. Basically what I do is I air down the tire and I let it sit on this riser block that I've got on a jack, and then I take that silicone hose there, connect it to the valve, and then stick the tube in the cup and jack the vehicle up, and it just basically drinks it. So I will come back here in a moment. I'm going to do all the other tires as well and take it for a test drive and let you know how it turns out. Hey guys, I just wanted to give you my impressions and feelings on the antifreeze in the 395, 85, 20s. As far as balancing goes, I ended up adding 20 more ounces, fluid ounces, not weight, per tire. So total of 40 ounces per each wheel. And that's it. Excuse me, that seemed to do the trick. They act like airsoft beads in the fact that when you hit a bump or something, the tire will go out of balance for a second, and then the fluid will recenter itself on the imbalance. So that works pretty good. One thing I want to mention is I'm really kind of tired of all the naysayers out there. They always have something to say, but they never do anything. So like, people talk about this on the forums, and 1 or 2 people do it, and then you don't hear anything back from them, except when you go to their YouTube channel. They had great success with it. So I said, screw it, you know, it's my vehicle. People's opinions don't pay my bills, so I'm gonna try it, and it actually works. So yeah, if it eats the seals in the CTIS system, by gosh, I might have to put some new seals in. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that's going to happen, because of the simple fact that if you look at the way the tires are set up, the way the air gets into the tire, it's behind a bead lock, which only has one entrance in it, which is a 1/4 inch slot. So will you get some vapors in the system? Oh, I'm sure you will, but it's not going to harm it, I don't believe. I mean, it's just rubber seals and whatnot. So anyhow, enough on that. All right, for today's project, I want to say I got real tired of calling around to tinting places, and since there is no pre-cut computer pattern for window tint, none of them want to do it, which just blows my mind. I was willing to pay, and apparently my money wasn't green enough for anybody. So anyways, I'm going to do it myself. I've done it before. I usually use pre-cut, but there's a way to do this, and it's not difficult at all, and I'm going to share that with you guys. So here's some of the supplies that I use. This is just for my trip permit. I'm going to mount that on the outside of the vehicles because the windows will be a little bit darker now, and so you won't be able to see it as well. It's just for the trip permit. I make up a solution of about 4 drops of baby shampoo and distilled water in a spray bottle to help the tint slide into place. Paper towels to clean the window. Some razor blades to take that trip permit goo off of there. 99% isopropyl, and lint-free towels to clean the windows off. This is a trick that most people don't realize, but real easy way to make pre-cut patterns for the tint is to use heavy-duty tinfoil. I'm going to show you guys how that works. Most people go and buy the $25 roll of automotive tint. The automotive tint is very thin and cheap and flimsy, and I've never really liked it. So when I've tinted my vehicles, I've specifically asked for Gila tint. It's what they use in homes. It works really good. It's a lot thicker, and it lasts a lot longer. It's higher quality. It's about the same price too, which is kind of amazing. But anyways, if you make any mistakes with this, you're not limited to the roll that you have with the automotive tint. This actually, you have 15 feet of it by 3 feet. So, I mean, you could probably do 6 vehicles with this. But anyhow, I'm going to clean the windows off, get the trip permit relocated, and then we'll get into it. Alright guys, I got the first window pattern done. Aluminum foil conforms to everything, so basically what you do is you hold your hand in the center of it on the window, and then you just go around with your fingers and push it into all the corners. But basically what you do now is cut it out with the scissors, trace it onto the tint, cut the tint out, and you've got a piece pre-cut ready to go in. Works pretty good. Once you've got the tin foil cut out and you've double checked it to the window size, you should have about 1/8 of an inch around the outside of the window when you put this up, which is perfect because you're going to trace it with a Sharpie. Make sure you're tracing it on the side that comes off when you peel it and you throw it away. So this would be the clear side of the tint that gets thrown away, and then the other side is the actual tint. So we're going to trace it out, and then we're going to cut it out. Or you could just cut it like this if you wanted. It's kind of up to you. I like to trace it out and cut it. And you want to, when you trace it and cut it, you want to cut outside of your mark so that 1/8 of an inch gap is taken up on the window. And then when you go to put it up, you can use a razor blade to fine tune it if you need to. Now that you have the desired shape cut out, you want to mix up your solution. 4 drops of baby shampoo and the distilled water in the spray bottle. Another trick I like to do is I take a couple pieces of masking tape and tape it to opposite sides of the tint with some pull tabs on them. It will help you remove the clear protective layer, and so the sticker part, the adhesive part, will be easier to get to. Then we're going to go out to the vehicle and we're going to spray lots of soapy water on it and the tint as I pull the adhesive away, stick it in place and slide it around until it fits, and use a squeegee to push out all of the bubbles from behind the tint. Okay, once you get it to this point where it's almost done, you'll want to trim off any excess that's sticking out on the edges that's preventing it from laying flat against the window, and then go over it one more time with some soapy water and your squeegee. I've had this for a long time from putting vinyl on cars when I was really young. But you can use these, or you go to Home Depot and get these. They're for Bondo, but they work, and they come with like 4 different sizes. So I got to trim a little bit on the edges, but then this window will be done and I move on to the next one. Okay guys, got the second window done. One tip I have for you if you're doing these windows is to make sure, most vehicles you can do this, take your weather stripping off the bottom, because then you'll have a nice little lip that you can stick behind this so that when you roll the window up and down it doesn't peel your tint off. that one turned out really good. The front one, I still have a small gap on the one side. You can kind of see it, but this one turned out really good. Okay, guys, I got the rear one done. A couple of small spots at the bottom that I didn't get. No big deal. This one actually turned out pretty decent. These windows are not the modern day windows that are on most vehicles that have a seal that you can get the tint under. So it's really hard to get it right to the edge. But as far as making the aluminum foil patterns go and cutting it out and getting it to come in here and get it to fit this close, that's pretty darn good. So you can see I got the front ones done. So all three on this side are done. Now I got to start working on this side. Alright guys, I just finished up on the last three windows on this side. One thing to be concerned about is air bubbles. You don't want to leave air bubbles behind the tint, but water is okay. After a couple weeks of this sitting in the sun, the water evaporates from behind there and it sticks down. Every time I've tinted a car, I've done that. Make sure the air bubbles are gone, but you definitely want to make sure that none of the air bubbles are behind there, but the water is it's gone. So basically you just press everything out with this, and it's already starting to bake itself on there in the sun here, so that's a good thing. And then check on it, you know, if any corners start to come up, just press them back down with the squeegee. Aside from that, this is a done deal. I was going to do the top 6 inches of the window, but we'll see how this works out, and I may not do that. So alright guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I'll catch you next time. See you later. Bye bye.